Imagine a nation at a crossroads, where the very foundation of leadership is questioned. Could electing a president without vetting their true capabilities be the hidden flaw tearing South Africa apart? Former President Thabo Mbeki certainly thinks so, and his bold call for change during a recent address is sparking waves of debate. But here's where it gets controversial. What if the way we choose our leaders is not just inefficient, but dangerously out of touch with what the country really needs? Let's dive into Mbeki's insights, exploring how his critique ties into broader crises and why a national dialogue might just be the game-changer we didn't know we needed. In a speech delivered on Saturday, Mbeki urged an immediate national dialogue to tackle South Africa's plethora of pressing issues, including a significant overhaul of the presidential election process. At the inauguration of the national dialogue focused on the Eastern Cape's higher education sector at Nelson Mandela University in Kebra, Mbeki passionately argued that the current method of selecting a president is fundamentally flawed. The system doesn't inquire whether a candidate is truly equipped or suitable for the role, he emphasized. To illustrate this point simply, think of it like hiring a chef without tasting their cooking. Parliament essentially appointed Mbeki without assessing his skills or track record. And this is the part most people miss. Such a blind approach could explain why many leaders falter under pressure, potentially exacerbating the nation's woes. Mbeki stressed that this electoral shortcoming is just one of many topics the national dialogue must confront head-on. To learn more about his vision, check out this related piece, Taking Back Our Dreams and Our Country, Why the National Dialogue is the Only Way Forward, available at https://www.dailymaverick.co.za/article/2025-09-21-national-dialogue-is-the-only-way-forward. He underscored the critical role of higher education in this initiative, explaining how these institutions are vital for innovation and problem-solving. Reflecting on South Africa's 30th anniversary, Mbeki painted a stark picture. Interventions are essential because our economy is struggling, politics is polarized, crime and corruption are rampant, and even our ties with neighboring African countries are strained. Every aspect signals distress. Before the recent national elections, Mbeki reviewed party manifestos and concluded they offered no real solutions. Instead, he advocated for everyday South Africans to step up with genuine responses, not empty political pledges. True answers emerge from the populace, not politicians, he declared, forming the core of his national dialogue proposal. And here's a fascinating twist. Mbeki positioned higher education as the brains of the nation, urging thought leaders from universities to participate actively. Without their expertise, he warned, the country risks stagnation. Delving deeper, Mbeki critiqued the National Development Plan, NDP, adopted by the cabinet in 2012 as a blueprint for South Africa's progress toward 2030. While praising its visionary outlook, he pointed out a glaring gap. It's a fantastic vision, but it lacks the actionable steps to make it reality. He placed the blame squarely on the Intelligentsia for not intervening sooner. They should have demanded a concrete roadmap, transforming the vision into a workable strategy, he said. For beginners wondering about this, consider the NDP like a dream home blueprint, impressive on paper, but useless without builders and materials. Through the national dialogue, Mbeki invited academics to fill this void with practical contributions. Mbeki also highlighted higher education's role in reshaping harmful narratives, such as the damaging stereotype that Black South Africans are destined to fail. By providing real-world solutions, universities can inspire and energize the youth, countering discouragement. He encouraged them to offer advice to 32 diverse constituencies in the dialogue, including women, civil society groups, entrepreneurs, labor unions, traditional authorities, and religious organizations. This collaborative approach, he believes, will foster inclusive progress. Now, touching on a hotly debated topic, the National Health Insurance, NHI, Mbeki raised eyebrows by questioning the absence of thorough consultations with healthcare experts. Why hasn't there been an open conversation with medical professionals to iron out concerns about this new system, he asked. Their valuable perspectives have been overlooked, he noted, potentially leading to flawed implementation. And this is where controversy brews. Some might argue that such consultations could delay reforms, while others see it as essential for ethical and effective policy. Mbeki is confident the national dialogue will unfold regardless, serving as a comprehensive response to South Africa's interconnected crises. He sees the intelligentsia, not politicians, as the true thought leaders, with a broader duty to innovate solutions. In essence, Mbeki envisions this dialogue as a fresh start, extending beyond education to empower intellectuals in addressing the nation's multifaceted challenges. You hold the key to legitimate leadership in ideas, he told the audience, challenging them to rise above political shortcomings. What do you think? Is Mbeki onto something with his critique of presidential elections, or is he overlooking the complexities of democracy? Do you believe the national dialogue could truly bridge South Africa's divides, or might it just add more voices to the noise? And on the NHI debate, should health professionals have a louder say, or are critics like Mbeki underestimating the risks of endless discussions? Share your thoughts in the comments, let's discuss and debate.